Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This week, well today, I'm heading out for another 5-kilometer time trial. This is one that I'm doing because my brain won't let me rest at 16 seconds off a sub 25k, because I have done 10 weeks of training and because I am desperate to capitalize on that training and try and get a sub 25k PB. To give you a bit of a kind of recap on what happened before, I was training for 8 weeks in order to get a sub 20 5-kilometer personal best. My previous personal best was just over 21 minutes. I think it was 21:15 or something, 21:08, around that kind of region. That was done in a park run, and my goal this time was to basically get a sub 20 5-kilometer personal best, and I missed out on it after 8 weeks of training by 16 seconds. I got 20 minutes and 16 seconds, which for me, I was super happy with. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't feel ready to go sub 20, and needless to say, I didn't, but I was very, very pleased with a minute personal best, and it felt kind of relatively comfortable in the way that only a runner can kind of say that sort of thing. Type 2 fun, relatively comfortable, but also extremely painful. I had a huge amount of fun, and then afterwards I had to make the decision, do I want to continue training the way that I'm training and give it another shot down the line, or do I kind of want to stop and refocus on the races that I've got coming up later this year? But because those races aren't really until sort of after the summer or late summer sort of time, I figured that I'd give this sort of training a little bit more of a shot and have another go at the 5k time trial. It's also great practice actually for kind of getting into a race scenario. Although I'm doing these things kind of alone or just with my pacer and coach Holly, they're still great practice for a kind of race day scenario. So this morning, for example, I got up and got ready as though it was an official race. You know, that means setting out my kit the day before. It means making sure that all my watches and phones and camera batteries are charged. This is something that I've definitely got wrong recently. You know, making sure that I'm eating 2 hours before I set out for the run, and all of this kind of stuff that, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I've kind of forgotten over the last year where we haven't been doing any races, and I kind of wanted to get back into the swing of things. A little bit of nerves, a little bit of anxiety, but hopefully just enough to help me perform a little bit better rather than actually getting too stressed. And having this sort of time trial practice, whether it is, you know, on a time trial on your local track or for a park run now that those are opening back up again in some areas, it's all really good practice for when we actually get back to races. So I'm hoping that this will stand me in good stead when I eventually get back to doing, for example, the London Landmarks Half Marathon or any of the ultra marathons that I've got going on later this year, so that I'm not too overwhelmed with nerves, because I don't know about you guys, but I get really stressed about races. I get super stressed, not just in the day of, but also the days before, and it means that I don't sleep very well. I struggle to keep food, like not sitting in my stomach and feeling, you know, quite sick. So if I can practice this more and more and more, it means that it becomes less of a big deal, and when it comes to kind of the more important official big races, I'm super chilled. Things are great. I've done this before, been here before, and it was all fine. So that's the sort of goal for today, as well as hopefully getting the sub 20 5k. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm hoping that I'm only really in my 3rd year of official running training. I'm hoping that with a little bit more training and kind of miles under the belt, that it will become less of a big leap to get that sort of time. So for example, if I'm training for my half marathon later in the year, then within that training, I might actually get the paces that I need to do this 5k. So if it doesn't happen today, it's still gonna happen at some point. It's just all kind of good practice. And worst case scenario, this is just a great training session. So that's all good with me. So this morning I woke up, made myself breakfast straight away. I like to have my breakfast kind of, if I'm doing a race, I like to have my breakfast straight away because it means that it has more time for me to digest it. And you know, this is something I say all the time, don't try anything new on race day, stick with the things that you're used to. This morning I had a bowl of muesli, very dull but quite delicious, with some cinnamon, and also my usual decaf coffee. On race days, I do also drink caffeine, but again, don't try this if you haven't, if your body isn't used to caffeine. Having a coffee on race day can wreak havoc with your gut and your nerves, so maybe try it out in something like a time trial or like a park run, which is exactly what I'm doing today. So I've had a caffeinated coffee. I don't know if you can tell, I'm kind of buzzing. And I'm gonna have a matcha latte as well. For some reason, coffee agrees with me less than a matcha does, so who knows, but I'm gonna have some of that. And then we're gonna be heading off in 10 minutes. Going up to the track, meeting Holly up there, and setting off for the 5K. Just arrived at Hengrove track for attempt numero 2 of 5K time trial. It is a little bit hazier today. It's also a lot windier, which is not ideal running conditions. So we've got a headwind going up this straight, but that hopefully means we've got a tailwind down there. I'll talk more about it afterwards because we're just in the middle of our strides at the moment, and then we're gonna get started. I'm not gonna film the whole thing. You saw it last time, and if you haven't seen it, you can go and watch my previous 5K time trial attempt by clicking the link in the caption below.
All ready then?
A bit nervy. And it's so windy. But I'm gonna tuck behind Holly and hopefully she'll block.
That's it, yeah, you're basically a windbreak now.
Of the wind.
Tailwind on the next bit. Oh, one more lap.
Come on. Flora. Drop all the shit back, come on.
Give it all on this lap.
Gotta give it all. Come on.
Don't leave anything on the table this time.
Pick yourself after it, you will pick yourself. Think about last time, come on. Brilliant. Come on. Come on. Less than 3 minutes, come on.
Give it everything
Come
now.
on, give it all, come on.
You got weeks to recover. Give everything now.
This is it. We are not doing this again. Brilliant.
Last time into the headwind. Okay, you can push this one last bit. Everything you got.
Come on, Flora. Come on. Come on.
Give it all now.
Stop 20, come on.
One more corner, then it's straight.
Get it tight, come on. Come on, Flora. Come on.
This is great. Keep it going.
Yeah, brilliant. This is what I want to see. Come on. Come on, go. About 3 miles.
Give it all round here.
Come on. Come on, come on. Deep breath, drive. Come on. Come on, you gotta keep going. Come on.
Push. Push, push. You got it. Sprint down. Last little bit.
Come on. Keep going. You've got a lot to push.
Come on, you got this.
Push! Come on, say! Push!
Come on.
Yes! Woo!
Done.
1957.
1957. Easy.
Oh my god!
Well done.
I'm growling.
And with that headwind and those dogs.
Yeah.
Smashed it.
Oh, absolutely.
That was your all, wasn't it?
That was really good. I knew you had it in you.
That was good. You put everything down this time.
Ah! Bloody hell.
Is that 23 faster than last time?
As well.
Yeah, what did you do last time? 16? Yeah. Yeah, 19 seconds.
19 seconds in worse conditions, I'd say.
Yeah, oh yeah. 2.5 weeks. That's horrendous.
There you go.
3 weeks? 2.5 weeks.
You can go under 19 in 2 weeks' time. How you feeling?
Don't make it look that easy.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
You don't even look out of breath. I'd be collapsed on the floor after about 2k on mine, so.
Sorry if I was getting shitty with you. No,
Yeah.
I was just really worried. You were like seconds. There was
Yeah. If you had missed it by 1 or 2 seconds.
I'd have been really angry with myself.
Do you know what was here? The problem was here again. It was just going crazy, my GPS.
You only had 2 traffic issues on the whole thing.
Yeah,
One
I mean, like those dogs.
little old ladies and some
Yeah, I
dogs.
saw the dogs in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a case of having to jump over.
And now the sun comes out.
Oh god, the sun came out for like half a lap
so
and I was
humid
like,
here.
so hot.
Well done.
Thanks, Fee.
That's okay. Well done.
I kept on thinking you
So
have to do
sweaty.
it.
Wow, we are done. And I finally got myself 25 kilometers. I'm really, really pleased, mainly because I actually felt worse today than I did last time I tried it. My legs were tired. I've been gardening, doing a lot of digging recently. And within about 1.5 kilometers, I didn't feel as fresh as I felt last time. In my head, I got a little bit negative with myself and I suddenly thought, you know, maybe I should just give up now so I don't tire myself and then just give it another go by myself later. And then I was like, no, you know what? Holly has come all the way from Frome to come and help me with this 5K. So, you know, at least you've got to give it a go and give it your best shot. And like I said, you know, worst case scenario is just a good training session, and best case scenario, get a PB, and that's what happened. So I have now got like 3 PBs in the last 3 weeks, I guess. 2 5K ones and a 10K one. Very pleased with that. Shows that the training does pay off. And I have to say, I did not feel good for a lot of my training sessions. I felt a lot better recently after a bit of rest, but for about 3 weeks of my training, I felt awful. Not just that I couldn't hit the paces, but that also like I was incapable of actually physically running them. So I'm really pleased that it kind of all came together in the end. And on this case, like, I think I could have been fresher for the run. I think I could have done a better job of pacing. My 2nd and 3rd kilometer were kind of 4:04, 4:06 minutes per kilometer. So they were a little bit down, and it's not great to lose so much time because then you have to obviously make it up. But my last kilometer was 3:48 minutes for that kilometer. And that's because I was not letting it get away with me. I was going to do it and I did do it, and I'm very, very pleased with how that went. So I'm absolutely starving. Gonna go grab some lunch now, I think well deserved, and then I'm gonna go and sit out in the sunshine and bask in the glory, but also just mainly eat lots of food. That is the goal now. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it wasn't too samey as last time. My official time was 19:57 on Holly's watch and 19:58 on my watch. So pretty damn good. And this time the GPS worked very well. And the wind was awful, but you know, can't make excuses with things like that. I'm hoping that if it were not a windy day, I would have got a few seconds faster, but either way, I beat that time, so I'm absolutely delighted. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this vlog, please do give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you have given a 5K time trial a go as well. If you did one in March, or if you've done one since, I would love to hear about it. You know, it's just about running and enjoying yourself, and if you can beat a personal best, that's great. If you can't do it, it's all good training, it's all good practice, and actually quite fun in the end. Like I said, type 2 fun, not type 1. Type 2 fun is the sort of fun that's kind of horrible at the time, but really nice afterwards. And that is exactly what running is like. So yeah, I'm all for it. Lots more running content coming your way, and I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.